Moving ahead, AI in today's world is no longer limited to a certain area. It has a prominent impact on all aspects of businesses in different domains, in different industries. Let us begin with our first tech talk of the day by discussing the digital government transformation. We have Mr. Sohailmunir joining us from UAE to discuss the impact of AI, blockchain, cloud, and data analytics on digital government transformations. Mr. Sohailmunir is a seasoned industry professional with over 25 years of entrepreneurial and program management experience in the space of government tech, smart city, safe city, digital transformation, digital ID, C4I systems, and also in fintech. So his current R&D interests are in the space of AI ops, machine learning, and blockchain. He's a key contributor of the blockchain and paperless city initiatives at Smart Dubai government. Let us hear from Mr. Sohail. Sohail, good to have you on board with us. Over to you now. Mr. Sohailmunir, I'm sorry to cutting you off. You are on mute. We cannot hear you.
Okay, sorry. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This thing is too high-tech for me. Thanks for having me here. It's really a pleasure to be a part of this event. Thank you for doing the introductions, Peter. You set the stage for what I was going to say. So just a little bit about myself. I am basically the advisor for digital transformation for Dubai Digital Authority, which basically is an entity which is responsible for digital transformation for government of Dubai. So our mandate is pretty much across all sectors of life in Dubai. So to digitize general life in Dubai, to digitize the economy, and to digitize the government. So I'll share some of the learnings that I have seen, what we have observed in the recent past, the role that emerging tech had to play in GovTech, and some lessons, maybe what Digital Pakistan could look at, maybe some approaches. So that's what I'm going to discuss. You can see my screens, right? So, today, when we look at any digital transformation initiative, one part certainly is anybody's looking at smart governance, optimizing government services, creating transparency in government services. But a lot of these are going to be around enhancing citizen experiences, do citizen journey mapping, see how to make an end-to-end citizen experience very seamless and frictionless. I think that's where the most focus is today when anybody is building government services. I think that's where the focus is, to make these as very seamless and frictionless citizen journeys. And the end objective is to make that citizen, which is your customer, very happy. While doing that, we want to see efficiency drivers in ICT investments. And last but not least, building a very holistic data economy, data ecosystem. I think those are some of the priorities when governments look at investing in technology at GovTech. These are the priorities, what they aim to achieve. Around this, it's about governance, how to be innovative and transparent in making, providing government services to the citizens, how to impact the quality of life of those citizens, while at the same time, being mindful of the environment, how to actually fuel the economy in this competitive landscape, a lot of focus around mobility and around development of people. So that's when we look at GovTech, these are some of the objectives that we are looking at. So today, when GovTech leaders, what do they focus on? And At the same time, what do they worry about? Of course, COVID changed the whole landscape for everyone. So there was a lot of focus around it. Basically changed the way we were addressing these services. Then there is a major technology trend of hyper automation, everything being automated. That's something which we look at, and I'll cover this in the next slides. The other area, as I said, is, at least for us, the focus was to create these delightful citizen experiences. When you do that, that puts a lot of, that actually makes sure not only that is a driver for how you're going to create your services, but then also that creates a lot of complications. What emerging tech brings to this is, when I say emerging tech, I would mean niche technologies like blockchain, AI. Pretty much as we understand, everything is moving to cloud, and the impact that data analytics and availability of data has. So what this has done is this has created various new business models of how the government and industry are basically providing these services. While at the same time, the other issue that we look at is, when we are going digital, bringing all services digital, that expands the attack surface, that brings in a lot of security issues to the table, which then has to be addressed. At the same time, to protect citizens, to protect the constituents, the regulatory regime is evolving globally, be it GDPR and the privacy rules in Europe and how to impact that. While at the same time, we are looking at some of the emerging technology trends. And when we talk about AI, where AI is being used to create these delightful experiences, at the same time, then AI is available at the hands of the bad guys. Now, adversarial AI is something which we then look at. Attacking, the attack surface is increasing. AI supports you in identifying loopholes in my system and identifying the gap vulnerabilities in my system. So that's another area which we actually have to worry about as GovTech leaders. I'll move to the Gartner curve, the Gartner hype cycle for GovTech, for government technology, that Gartner launched in 2021. Peter has already explained what the hype cycle, what the Gartner curve is. But some of the areas where I'm seeing, if you look at the hype cycle for GovTech in 2021, most of the basically entries here has to do with data or AI. COVID, of course, made Health Pass priority. Everybody has been focusing on Health Pass in one way or another. This is something which the plateau would be reached in 2 years. Then there is this notion of a citizen twin, something that we are working also aggressively here. So the idea is how you use the data that you have on a citizen or on any entity, and actually use that for planning purposes to optimize these services. So there's a lot of focus around that. You may have heard a lot about digital twins. So the whole idea is that create digital twins for government and create a digital twin for a citizen, which is the citizen twin, a digital representation of that citizen. There is a lot of focus that we are seeing on identity wallets for citizens. On the tech front, knowledge graphs is something which is making, again, new business models possible. We are seeing a lot of governments focusing on and creating citizen engagement hub that is really at the height of inflated expectations, peak of expectations right now. We are doing a lot of work in Dubai in this space. Blockchain and government was something which was, over the last 4 years, we have seen there's a lot of focus. In Dubai, we have, one of the targets that we had was to bring all services, all citizen services, all applicable citizen services on blockchain. And that was the foundation of our paperless initiative, where we had a target that by December 2021, Dubai government will not issue or accept any piece of paper, meaning that all services, all interactions that you have with the government will be completely digital and completely paperless. Paperless is not the objective. The objective is a complete digital transformation of government. But what is going to happen by December is that in any of the government interaction that a citizen is doing, there would be no paper whatsoever. We had set this target of December 2021 3 years ago. And just 2 weeks ago in GITEX, we announced that we have achieved 98% of that objective already. We are seeing, as Peter was also explaining, a lot around natural language processing and how that is impacting government services, a lot around voice of citizen applications, the feedback that is coming from citizens, and how your other systems are going to react and respond to that feedback. Somebody asked me, what is smart government or what is a smart city? So a very simplistic answer that I would give is, what makes anything smart is when there is a feedback loop. You have a feedback loop which is driven by data, and you basically have the ability to respond and react to that. So when I'm giving government services, that feedback loop could be the voice of citizen that I'm gathering using various channels. It would be indicators that are telling me what is happening, what is the response to my actions. And it could be things like IoT devices and sensors that are giving me feedback. So for me to have that ability to collect all of that, to basically ingest all of that, these signals and feedback, and to actually respond based on that feedback, that is very critical. And without statistical learning tools, without AI and ML tools, it is not at all possible for me to be able to get that level of smartness. Then we are seeing chatbots. It was at the hype cycle a couple of years back. Right now, it's really the trough of disillusionment. But we certainly see chatbots at a level of maturity where chatbots and the next evolution of that would be very critical for any GovTech stack. Certain areas which we are seeing now at the plateau of productivity, the investments are paying off, is one area is full cycle API management, open APIs for government. And we'll be seeing a lot of that where API economy would be built. There would be co-creation of services between the private sector and government. So that is something which we are seeing a lot. And then low-code platforms, we are seeing a lot of that adopted across various governments, and especially in UAE also. So I kind of like this slide, this chart from Gartner, because this helps me give an overview of what is happening when we talk about emerging technologies in GovTech. There's again a survey that Gartner did, and we are seeing a lot of focus on, again, digital identity platforms. That's like at any advanced government who is looking at digital transformation, that becomes one of the main building block, because not only you're providing a digital identity, but you build a circle of trust around it, where your partners are going to provide services building on this main technology stack. In Dubai, when we started revamping our we kind of did a study 4 or 5 years ago. What are the critical components that are missing if we want to go to the next level of our digital governance? And one of the key building blocks we identified was a digital identity. And we launched that 2 years ago with the name of UAE Pass. It was branded as UAE Pass. And that actually, again, became a catalyst on helping us move to the next or leapfrog a lot of other targets that we're trying to achieve. There's another, we see a lot around RPA in UAE also. RPA is used a lot, but it is something which is already implemented. We are already seeing the benefits. There is some of the areas were digital twin, and then around deep learning, the whole idea is how do I now look at the data assets that I have available and try to get insights from it in planning and providing government services. When I look at digital government maturity, again, this slide from Gartner helps a lot. So when I say smart governance, your service model is going to be predictive, meaning I need to now not only be ready for the services that the citizens are going to need, but actually, and plan accordingly, but actually I should be able to provide these data-driven predictive services. And that only happens if I have a very mature AI ecosystem in place. So with that, because I'm mindful of the time also, I have over 10 minutes. So when I looked at Pakistan and focus around Pakistan and digital Pakistan initiatives, some of the things that I see is the need for having a very robust digital stack that should be in place. And one of the key components of that is going to be a digital identity platform. Around that, there would be a digital vault. And API integration, when I say platform, I don't mean one platform, but a whole framework to be in place where government services and APIs would be available for governments to interact with each other, for government entities to interact with each other. A lot of government entities have looked at, a lot of governments globally have looked at citizen super apps, including us. So that's an area to be looked at. And last but not least, a very critical component, which is a real-time payments platform. And as I understand, there are certain initiatives that are underway in this regard. And then the most important part, we all have heard, I don't need to say and advocate what is the significance of data or it being the new oil to fuel economies. But a very critical component is to have a national open data strategy and a platform in place. By that, I mean have the governance model, data law and policies, provide the architecture for that, the infrastructure for that, and a value creation framework to have a data marketplace around it. So that is something which is a very critical piece of the puzzle that the government of Pakistan should be looking at. So I just wanted to share some of the thoughts in this regard. I'll certainly be open to any Q&A session after that. In Dubai, when we look at that, we created a common development platform. We called it Dubai OS. We looked at managing, one area was to managing citizens' information centrally and provide a standardized development platform and a framework where services could be created centrally. We had something called a Dubai OS, where these are the critical components which all other government services and entities were using. It was a common services platform that we built. So the topic here was the role that AI or blockchain is going to play, cloud and certainly data is going to play in GovTech and digital government transformation in the reference of Pakistan. So, I mean, as I said that it's all going to be about mapping citizen journeys, identifying those citizen journeys, seeing how we can actually make these journeys very seamless, very frictionless, and then look at where the technology stack components are going to help and facilitate us. So that's pretty much it from my side. I am open to questions if you are going to open that. Hello.
Hi, Sohail. There's a question for you in the chat box. Maybe you can address that right now.
Okay, when moving towards digitization of government, how the data security issues are addressed? Are the economy confidential data will be accessible on the cloud? So is it safe moving towards government digitization? Okay, it's a bit a loaded question, I think. So certainly, one part is when we talk about open data, there is one part which is PII data, and there has to be a proper framework in place. That's when I say data law and open data framework has to be in place. That would mean who is the custodian of the data, how are you classifying the data sets, based on that classification of that data, which was going to address the privacy and the security issues, that has to be looked at. So a holistic framework has to be in place, of course. I am not saying that in the context of Pakistan that is not in place. Certainly there are different pieces of policy and legislation that is in place, but a holistic framework has to be there. Every jurisdiction has their own considerations when they are going to discuss privacy or data security. And then that there would be industry specific or sector specific requirements, which the regulatory bodies in those sectors are going to look at. An example is State Bank of Pakistan is already addressing and is the custodian of that data for the banking industry. In case of UAE, data residency is very important. So we are very particular and very jealously guard the data residency requirements when we talk about moving to cloud and making data accessible. So I hope I answered that question. The next question I am seeing is, can we move government digitalization like China? If we move like China, then we have to cut off from the world just like China because of cyber issues. I'm not sure what you mean. You have to cut off from the rest of the world like China because of cyber issues. I'm not sure what you're implying here, but regardless, when we talk about digitalization, it does not happen in isolation. There are going to be a lot of citizen journeys which are going to be localized, but there's a lot of journeys and a lot of these citizen business journeys where you are part of a global network. You're going to use, for example, a trade platform. So you're not going to cut off from the rest of the world. So I don't see security implying that we have to cut off. So I don't agree with the statement anyways, where China has cut off from the rest of the world. So I don't think that I agree with that. What is currently happening in the space of geospatial analytics for the Smart Dubai initiative? That's a very good question, actually. So very interestingly, I started my journey with Dubai government in 2016. And at that point in time, we identified 3 very critical building blocks required for the next, for our next level of digital maturity, government transformation. And those 3 building blocks were digital identity. Number 2 was cashless city or real-time payments in the city. And the third was advanced geospatial services. So I think these were three very important building blocks in our case. As I said, on the digital identity, that was our first priority. We launched this 2 years ago. And now there's a lot of work around building this circle of trust around it. On cashless city, I know that currently more than 40 countries in the world has a real-time payment platform deployed. So the objective, like in case of India, they have UPI. And the journey which I want, the experience which I want to see is, I can actually WhatsApp you money right now. So that's what happens in India. You can actually, just like in WhatsApp, you can share a location. So a rupee symbol comes and you can transfer that. And it is not going from a wallet to a wallet, but it is going in real time from my bank account to your bank account. That's the experience that you want to create. So this is something which is very important in case of UAE also. Our digital cash, digital payment percentage is very low at this stage. And the Central Bank of UAE is undertaking a massive project where the first phase will be launched next year, mid next year, which would allow me to transfer money from bank account to bank account in real time without any wallet in between. And the third area, of course, was geospatial services. There are various initiatives that we have taken. It's a lot around standardization of geospatial services. In UAE, in context of Dubai, we had something called Makani, where we took a different approach. We assigned our own tags to every location, every unit in the city. And this is not only 2D, but also 3D. Because now when we talk about the geospatial stack, it is not only going to be about, okay, I can, drive a car to a certain location. You have to even think drone deliveries, right? So when we talk geospatial services, we basically look at now the 3D stacks. I know of a few entities in Pakistan who are doing great work around geospatial services, around data and geospatial services. Somebody I know has pretty much mapped all of the units in most of the urban centers in Pakistan already. So there's a lot of work that is happening in this space, as I know of. I'm not privy to, I don't know if the startups want me to discuss them here, but that's what I have seen. So again, it's a very exciting space. I didn't see the fourth question. I don't know what it was.
Oh, thank you so much.
The last question was, my question is that how can we go towards implementation of smart city program in Pakistan? What should be our seed step? Again, smart city is many different things to many different people. And the very first part around governance is, as I said, these design thinking sessions between the government and the private sector stakeholders to identify what are those citizen journeys, to map those journeys, and then create a current state, an interim state, and a future state for those. That becomes very important. And the entities who are responsible, for certain functions, their teams are the ones who have the solutions. So we have to engage them along with the other stakeholders. Smart cities, or pretty much any city, cannot happen with just government doing the planning. All stakeholders have to come on board. The stakeholders are the government, the stakeholders are the private sector entities, the stakeholders are you and me. So these discussions have to happen, these dialogues have to happen, where all stakeholders have to come together and then identify and prioritize these citizen journeys, map those journeys, remove the friction from those journeys, and that's where a lot of innovation is going to happen.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Sohail, for answering all of those questions. And I think everything that you've shared also really helps us kind of pave the way to make Pakistan into a country that is run through digital governance as well. So thank you again so much for your talk. It was truly insightful. So